And me, I'm talking out loud with people around. I'm like, Saka's not the same tonight. He doesn't have the bounce in his leg. 10 seconds later, he scored a goal to go up 1-0. And I had a bunch of people tap me on the shoulder and go, how do his legs look? How do his legs look now? Yo, what's up? It's Chris Sims. It's Chris Sims Unbuttoned. That was the best London, England accent I could do. We're here Monday live, 10 a.m. YouTube. Connor Rodgers is in here with his throwback, futuristic. I mean, here it is.
Yep.
This is I've never seen you wear this one.
I had one more in the bag for you.
You got one more?
Yeah, it was like 40s when we woke up today.
Yeah.
I was like, one more jacket day before summer, if summer ever gets here.
Fit it in now.
That's right.
If it ever gets here. May's a torture month here in the Northeast because it teases you with a nice day, but then the nights get cold, the mornings are cold.
I actually like it's like the Denver style weather.
It is. It's in between.
Yeah.
It's like, early fall, late spring. It can be very comfortable. You're never too hot.
Before it's 95 every day. Yeah.
So DeVro Golf right there.
Yeah. Little niche brand for you.
Okay. I was
like
going to say, I haven't heard that one. I do like it. I
Thanks,
actually do. It's got like I said, like kind of like old school vibes, but
the
new
90s
school vibes
pullovers.
too. It totally
does.
does.
I miss the 90s pullovers. They're starting to come back now.
The 90s are back.
Yeah. Everything had a hood for so long. Now we're getting the old school pullovers again. Windbreakers.
Oh, windbreakers. I mean, I'm seeing baggy pants and jeans.
There's a line too far from me.
Because you hit an age at some point where you go, like I like to be cool and look good, but there's just only so far I'm going to go now.
Right. I can't do the baggy pants.
I'm not going back to my huge jeans and all that. Like, no, not happening with me either.
We left that in 2003 or whatever it was?
Right around that.
Yeah,
You're right.
Taylor,
I was in college wearing some big, what were they, Jenko jeans, right?
Yes.
I mean, going like, and I look at them now and see old pictures and I'm like, oh my God, I could have stuck both legs in each leg.
What were we doing?
Right? Yeah, what was I doing is right.
We got some big news, I feel like, in the Sims house.
We do got big news in the Sims house. We do. Well, I showed Florio today. And I thought I had told you a little bit, but I can't remember.
You mentioned it.
I had mentioned it, right? So, my dog, my Bentley, my German Shepherd, he went with my daughter to college in the after Christmas for the second semester. She lives in an apartment at the University of Kentucky. So I was a little bit like, few weeks went by and I was like, damn, the house is empty.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. I missed my buddy, right? And I'm also, a lover of my chickens. And I'm like, the big German Shepherd roaming the property, it does help them.
Yes, it does.
Even them just going to bathroom in certain places in the yard, like the coyote goes, ooh, something's big in this yard. I don't want to come in here, right? So I was missing all of that. And I never really asked for anything as far as like, can I have this? Can I have that? And I started to be like, I want a dog again. I want to get another German Shepherd. And my wife kind of was like, oh, gosh, I don't want to deal with it. But then she was kind of like, you never ask for anything, so we'll do it. And we ordered another black German Shepherd from the same place we got Bentley. So on Friday afternoon, we got a new member of the household right here. And look at this guy.
Is awesome,
look
dude.
At this guy.
Oh,
He's
my
a
God.
Munchkin. The ears are up already, which is very kind of rare for a shepherd.
Yeah.
He's a working-class shepherd. His parents are from Germany. And their ears like slowly stand up after a few months, but he's like 3 months old right now, a little in front of that, and they're all the way up. And my Bentley, his were not up at this point. One was floppy, one was up.
Kind of take a while.
Yeah, they take a while. But yeah, he's been a great addition to the house so far. As you know, a few peeps and poopies here and there.
Oh, that's how it's going to go. On white carpet there.
Yeah, I know, right. we haven't let them in there much. But shepherds are smart. They're smart as hell. So, like, it doesn't take them long to kind of figure out, like, oh, no, he didn't like that I went there. So he's getting there. But then I went from just having my Toto dog, one dog, to then I did not realize my daughter was coming home from college, to now where I got a puppy on Friday. And then last night, my daughter got home from college with Bentley. And now we have 3 dogs, and it's going to be an absolute, like, circus in our house.
A complete animal house.
Yeah.
Who named him, and what's his name?
So it was a long thing. So when I first got it, I was like, all right, another black German Shepherd, I would love that. And I was like, I think I want to name him LT. And that's what I kind of said from the start. There was a family debate. Nike came into the equation quite a bit. Royce, because we've named Benz and Bentley as far as car names.
Yeah. Royce, that's a good one.
Royce is a pretty good one. So that was in there too. So we went through a little bit this weekend, but I finally made the call. And really, it was one thing. One, I felt like I didn't want to – the dog had been learning LT. He'd already been being taught it before we got him.
Okay.
So I was like, I feel bad. then I was like, wait, Nike is the goddess of victory. I was like, he's a boy, so he's not a goddess. I don't know if that fits. And then he took a picture, and I sent it to Pete, and I'm not sure if I sent it to him enough time to download it here and show you. But I took this picture. My wife took this picture right here. And then she sent out a text to my group text and my family and went, Phil Simms and LT reunited again.
That's amazing.
And that, when I was like that, I was like, damn, it's LT, right?
Has to be.
So my Aunt Wendy was still texting names, and I was like, it's over. Thank you for your participation. His name is LT, and he's been awesome so far. He's added a lot of life to our house there.
Dude, I love it. That's
Yeah,
going to be
awesome.
chaotic in the best kind of way,
Yeah.
having 3 dogs
Yeah.
in one house.
Right.
That only happens for me like on Thanksgiving or like
Yeah,
at Christmas
family
Eve.
stuff.
Everybody brings theirs, and
Yes,
we have
yes.
ours, and it's absolute chaos. But I love it. Phil Simms and LT back in action.
at it. Back
Another
at it.
member of the Simms family household.
Don't let them hit the streets together. You don't know what might happen, all right?
Give it a couple of
everybody?
years.
Yeah.
They'll both be bigger and crazier. As we always do, we start off the show with some comments from the homies. We got a great show today, by the way. Not only do we actually have NFL news for the middle of May to get
Yeah,
to,
not
Breece Hall
bad.
extension, David Njoku finally finds a home. We got our all-alien team, which is pretty good timing because Wemby is kind of known as the alien in sports, and he's in the news for a lot of reasons right now.
Right? I'm late to NBA basketball this year. I don't know why. I usually dive in the last few weeks of the regular season. This year, I don't know what it was. It just like the playoffs started, and I was like, damn, the playoffs are here. Okay, let me start paying attention. I've gotten a chance to watch them a little bit here. He's unreal.
On an NBA court, he looks different.
He's
which is
unreal.
the craziest thing ever.
I mean, I literally yesterday was telling my wife, I was like, you haven't seen this guy yet. Like, look at this guy. We haven't watched like the Spurs game, and of course their team. But yeah, he stands out in a league of freaks of nature, people that you're just like, what planet are you from? Any of that? Yeah, he's phenomenal. He really is. So between the Knicks, that story, and what's going on, because the Knicks are on fire like I've never seen.
Yeah.
And what people don't, if you want to know anything about New York, and you know this, is that the Knicks, I feel like, are the only team in the city where the whole city jumps on.
That's
it,
exactly right.
right? Everything else is divided. It's like, oh, no, I'm a Giants fan. Oh, no, I'm a Jets fan. No, I'm a Yankees fan. No, I'm a Mets fan. The Knicks, the city goes more crazy, I believe, when the Knicks are good than anything else.
I would agree.
And then it's become the Timothy Chalamet, like, if you're not even famous or worth a damn if you're not sitting in the first 2 rows of this game.
You got to be there.
Right. So every guy, I mean, I feel like he's single-handedly, like, making New York want to come to destination, and like where it's going to be like, it's L.A. Like, you got to be here. You got to be part of the show.
Well, he is a real Knicks fan, like going back to when he was a kid and the team was not any good.
Yes.
And then the fact is, when everybody went to the Met Gala,
Yes.
he still went to the
stayed.
Knicks game.
Yeah, exactly.
Which right away everybody's like, okay, Chalamet is the #1 Knicks celebrity fan right now. Like, it was unfortunately for Spike Lee, they were bad for so long.
Yeah.
But it was always Spike.
Yeah, he's still #1, but we got
he sat through all of it.
We got some new blood.
Yes. But Chalamet you're right, there is a presence courtside at the Garden.
Oh.
Not to mention, you have to be in a unique tier of celebrity to even be sniffing that area of the court.
When you get to that, you're a superstar. If you can get on the front row of the Knicks game right now, with the way they're playing, you're in a special level. And one of the memes I loved out there right now with the Chalamet, because I'm a big Timothy Chalamet fan. You know I love
like that you
Dune.
call him Chalamet.
Chalamet, I know. I'm probably messing up. I'm such a big fan. I don't even know your last name. But also, one of the memes I saw on Instagram, right? It was like, this guy really is Lisan Al-Gib, right?
Yeah.
They were like, he's got 2 LA girls next to him rooting for the Knicks like they're lived in New York their whole life and they're from LA, right? Lisan Al-Gib, right? So I do love him, and it is fun to watch that right now. But yeah, inspired by Wembanyama? Yeah, right, which I was butchering last night as I was telling my wife as well. We got Wemby and we got Freaks of Nature to talk about today.
We do, but before we get there, we always recap what's going on with the homies in the chat. Some London talk. Disabled Patriot 4242 said the boys are united and no Connor mustache. Thanks for visiting England, Sims. Next time, go to an old school football stadium, bit more rowdy.
Okay, I will. I'm down. Now, I'm an Arsenal fan right now, so just so you know, I'm on the bandwagon. I don't want to be accused of anything, But yes, first off, I love London. There was nothing not to like about London other than that our dollar is not worth the dollar there.
Yeah, well, you find that out real quick.
Real quick.
Scott Wonderly said, if you were impressed with Arsenal, get yourself to Old Trafford and check out United's trophy room.
Yeah.
Once you watch the highlights of what they achieved in 1999, it will rekindle your love for them.
Yeah, well, I can believe that. And I know I'm already very enamored with United's history and everything there. So that's on the bucket list. I do want to go to a game out there, and hopefully I can get in, the chairman's box with the Glazers and really enjoy
all the
it.
stars.
Right.
But yeah, you kind of have the Chalamet. I almost called him Chalamet. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. The Chalamet of Arsenal right now.
Yeah, that's me.
You're with you, Sean McVay.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah. Sherlock Holmes.
Hey, we're just hanging out. That's me. I mean, that's the last time you'll ever compare me to him. But I hope I'm working to be that kind of superstar.
We were talking about athletes throwing footballs, notably Conor McGregor and hand size and fighters.
Yeah.
Blakey's production said, I boxed. I'm 5'5", and I have the mitts of a 6'2" to 6'3" person.
Yeah.
That's right.
You got some heavy hands,
That's
I'm
the
sure.
point.
So when you hit somebody else that's 5'5" or in your weight class, they're probably asleep. I hear that all the way.
We're going to talk about some big hands today on the Alien team, by the way. Woke Brisket said Sims has got to workshop that Mahomes impression. The bones are there, just needs some repetition.
Yeah, I need some reps. I'm crazy, and sometimes I just do things like I'd never practice it.
You're going to throw it out there.
I just get live and go. I don't know any better, but yeah, I will work on that. I should. I've had enough personal experience with him, or I should be able to talk like him better than I do.
Lauren Jackson said having a, quotes, first throw or something along those lines is a pretty cool idea. It could be two celebrities or team legends, one throwing, one receiving. We got a little off-season idea. Maybe Sims fix my throw, pimp my throw. You fix people's mechanics. That would be fun to have somebody throw a football cold turkey that has never held a football.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I did that with my brother-in-law yesterday. My sister-in-law's husband, he's from Poland, and he was in the backyard having a catch with my son. And, he can throw it and get it there. But, of course, the ball's wobbly, and I just said, hey, do this. This time just turn your shoulder close to the target. And he was like, oh, my God, right? So, maybe. Pimp my throw. I like that one right there.
Maybe a summer series for us. Luis Cristiano Jr. said, Sims is the man. How about Bayshall Tootin for a sophomore jump? Love the talent and love what Liam Cohen will dial up in the running game. I don't see Tootin losing too many touches to Chris Rodriguez either.
No, I would agree. I think they got rid of Travis Etienne because they look at, Tootin to be one of these guys that could be a special part of their offense. Liam Cohen is a brilliant offensive mind. Again, I put him up there with the McVays, the Ben Johnsons, the Shanahans of the world, and he's very creative in the run game too. And so there's really something there to it to where, that's a good call by you. And it's one that I probably should have put that more on the radar a little bit more. No doubt about it.
Jacksonville has such a weird backfield where Tootin's the most explosive, exciting kind of guy. Because you got LaQuint Allen, more of the pass catcher from Cuse.
Yep.
Chris Rodriguez, more of your traditional in between the tackles, bigger guy. And they drafted Jamari Taylor, our guy from Virginia that is built like a scat back but runs like a power back. So I have no idea what's going to happen.
I know. Jamari Taylor, in some ways has a little bit of Tootin in him to a lesser degree.
Smaller kind of.
Smaller, compact, better contact balance than you think, runs harder than you think, and all of that. So, I'm excited to see what Jacksonville as a whole can bring to the table this year because, another year of Trevor Lawrence being in that offense with a quarterback genius guy, there's something to having that full offseason or that second full offseason with him.
Warren John, 1307. Nick Emanwari is going to take a leap. Next year, I see him being an all-pro player.
Yeah, I thought about him, too. There was some I tried to tried to avoid some obvious ones because we would have sat there all day and had like a million names, but I certainly can see that. And as we talked about, Emanwari is one of those guys where we talked about, I think 2 weeks ago, everybody's trying to find that version. They're a mismatch nightmare in the NFL to have that kind of length and size and physicality, yet they can run with elite receivers. It's rare.
This next one's kind of a hot topic right now from Between the Pylons NFL. Would love to hear your take on Brendan Sorsby. Where do you think he would have been drafted in this class, and is he worth a first or second round compensatory pick? Well, I think he means supplemental pick.
Yeah, supplemental pick.
Or is he getting a little overhyped? How much Sorsby have you got?
No, just through casual TV watching, Sorsby caught my eye last year, though, for sure. Like at a point during the year where I was like, wait, can this guy come out? Like, is he going to come out? So
was eligible.
Yeah. I mean, he'd be, again, I think a short list of guys, just let's say off the top of my head, Arch Manning, our guy, John Mateer from Oklahoma, Sellers. Right.
Dante Moore. CJ Carr. It's going to be interesting, the combos around Julian Sayin.
Yeah.
He's smaller, but he had moments.
Right. And I think this kid would have been in that combo with those
guys. I
guys.
totally agree
right?
with you.
Yeah.
I thought he has first-round traits.
Yeah.
And 3rd to 4th round tape.
Yeah.
But first-round traits
is a big deal. And, another year maturing, then maybe the tape can get to 1st and 2nd round tape, too.
Now, to mix with all of that, he got caught gambling.
Yes.
And it's allegedly part of that, at one point of his football life, was in games his team was playing in.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's a little bit more of a difficult combo than just, is he talented?
Yeah.
There are teams are going to have to work on. I see this ending with him having to enter the supplemental draft.
I would think so. It seems that way right now.
I don't know how he, in a case, is going to win back his eligibility.
Yeah.
Like, there's basically one thing you really can't do in college football, or else you lose your eligibility, and it is gambling.
Yeah, and you're right, and it's. I think it's headed that way as well. Now, does a team want to really take that risk of throwing a first-round supplement? No way. And I'm not sure second round would happen either, really.
I would say somebody
opens the door at third. Right. I think so, too. I think first and second round is just too valuable, and there's just, again, not enough out there, like you said, to go, oh, I definitely want that guy, or we're ready to make him the future here and waste next year's first or second round pick by taking him in the supplemental. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think the door opens in the third round somewhere.
But, man, he's big as hell. Yeah. He can run.
Yep.
He's got a power
arm. He does.
It's one of those where, like, he doesn't do the little things right now, but we've said that about a lot of good quarterbacks in this age of
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Little things you can learn a lot of the times, as we always talk about. It's the power, it's the size, it's the ability that you go, wait, does he have that? And then let's see what we can work on here. As a lot of times, and I know I've told these stories before, but my first inkling of him was my dad early last year. He saw him on like a Friday night game or whatever, and he was like, hey, have you watched this Cincinnati? Hey, Christopher, have you watched this Cincinnati Bearcat quarterback? And I was like, wait, you mean Sorsby? That's right. Yeah, damn, he can throw it. He's got a chance, And that was kind of my start. And then, on Saturdays we had him on the TV a little bit here and there in our viewing room. But it'd be interesting to see where that goes. But that's a big blow to Texas Tech.
I mean, they gave him $5 or $6 million.
I know. I mean, Texas Tech is trying to be one of the big boys in college football right now. And, of course, that would be a big part of it. And we know they got some other players on that football team right now. That would certainly hurt their chances this year.
I have a feeling when we come back in July, this will be a way bigger story.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll be in the supplement. This is all me guessing.
Yeah.
I think he'll be in the supplemental draft. I think somebody will use a 3rd or 4th round pick on him, and he will be in an NFL training camp with a lot of eyeballs on him. He's not ready to play.
No.
But somebody will hope he's their future.
No, he'd be a great, let's just say you're the Arizona Cardinals. You do your homework. You like everything you see. Hey, we're riding with Jacoby Brissett this year anyways. We don't care. We're going to do that. Let's sit back. You learn from him for a whole year. And then, hey, if we like your development and all that, hey, let's see what happens next year. I mean, I certainly could see that happen. Oddly enough, the guy I just brought up, Phil Simms, PMS, Philip Martin Simms, okay? He was supplanted by a supplemental draft quarterback in Dave Brown. I don't know if it's before your time.
I did not know that.
Dave
the
Brown.
Supplemental draft had way bigger picks back then.
Yes. So Dave Brown, and I don't even know if I know all the logistics to why he had to come out in the supplemental draft, but the Giants took him, and of course my dad was at the end of his career. He was going into year 15, and they took him in the first round of the supplemental draft. And then my dad, who went to the Pro Bowl in year 15, and the Giants went to the playoffs, he did get hurt. He was going to have to get minor shoulder surgery. And this is where I've always told you the history lesson of my dad was really the first big-time major cap casualty in the history of the NFL. It just had been invented. And so he was making $3 million, and they were like, damn, that's a lot of money for a 38-year-old. And they released him and went with Dave Brown, who they had drafted in the supplemental draft.
And that did not work out very well. Dave Brown was not the answer following the Phil Simms era at all. One of the more strange, at least what I'm seeing with Dave Brown. Dave Brown graduated from college with a year of eligibility remaining, which wasn't the most common thing back then, especially out of Duke. I mean, Duke's a pretty impressive university.
Right.
He didn't declare for the NFL until after the regular draft had been held.
Wow. So that's all it was.
If you look at the history of it, you'll have guys suspended for a season and doesn't get disclosed basically what happened to them. there's definitely.
Well, that makes me think that my dad was hurt and the Giants reached out and they were like, "Hey, we'll draft you in the supplemental draft." That's what would make me think.
Probably. I
got to ask my dad that.
They used the first-round pick on him.
Yeah, I got to ask my dad if he thinks that happened.
Teams were much more willing to do that back then. Like Jamal Williams, the nose tackle. He was a second-round pick because he was declared academically ineligible, so he just entered the supplemental draft. That's more of a story. We have the Josh Gordons of the world, which is a little bit more recent. But back in that era, the 90s and the 80s,
teams used it. Now we really have years where nobody gives anybody in the supplemental draft.
No, they don't even actually hold it because there's no need to. Mm-hmm. The last supplemental draft was 2019. The pick was Jalen Thompson, who just did pretty well for himself in free agency.
Totally.
A lot of people forget that. Jalen Thompson was a fifth-round pick by the Cardinals. He was declared ineligible for his senior season for NCAA rules violation. And he went on to have a great NFL career.
Great.
I think we will have one this year, obviously, if Sorsby finds himself in that situation.
Yeah, Jalen went to Dallas, right? That's where he
on a nice little contract.
Yeah,
so now they have him and Caleb Downs.
No doubt.
And that's a good duo.
That was one of the more underrated duos of the last few years anyways, him and Budda Baker. They just weren't good enough to be thrown out there into the stratosphere of publicity yet.
Speaking of those Cowboys, and speaking of Phil Simms' G-Man.
The G-Man.
It's the trickle of the schedule release.
Yes, it is.
Would you prefer it? And this is awesome. Sunday Night Football on NBC and Peacock. That's right, the first NFL Sunday of the season.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are coming to play the Giants at MetLife Sunday, September 13th.
8 out of the last 15 years, the Giants and Cowboys have matched up with each other. I believe it's
on week one.
Week one. And then I believe it's 4 out of the last 15 where it's been on Sunday Night Football.
That is correct.
Like that, right?
No, you're right.
So that is crazy. And more times than not, I'm in favor of this year.
This is the year to do it.
This is the year to do it. The Giants got a lot of stuff to look at, be excited about. They're going to be a different team. To me, they're one of those short list teams that we talk about that didn't make the playoffs. So you go, ooh, they might be able to make it this year. I think they are that. I think Dallas is better than people realize. We know the offense is awesome. I expect their defense to be better. I love it. I really do. I think it's a great week one matchup. You were going to ask me, though, would you rather what?
Oh, would you rather get the schedule all in one drop or the slow trickle release?
So here's my idea. I would like today, tell me all the Sunday night games.
I think I'm the big fan of this as well. Okay? I didn't think of this.
Tomorrow, tell me all the Monday night games. And tell me ABC and ESPN get to dominate tomorrow, right? Or they can rotate it.
Sure.
Right? The next day, okay.
Maybe Amazon Prime.
Give me the Amazon Prime Thursdays. Exactly right. And then we get to Thursday and start off with all your big-time CBS Fox 425 games, right? And then you can go the rest of the day on that. I mean, to me, the NFL, which has mastered the calendar, and we talk about, I was in London, and people were like, how does the NFL... I know people still talk about it in May. And I'm like, well, we're crazy here in America, right? So that's first. But it's, and then I tell them how popular it is. But, to me, this is, you could dominate the week, not only, right? So
in a more cleaner format.
In a cleaner format.
They try to do it now with these, little drops.
Yeah.
I don't love the little drops. I like this because not only do we work here and it's an awesome game and it's week one.
Yeah.
So we're going to start talking about week one already. It's what we do, covering the NFL. But when it's like, hey, week 13, the Packers are playing the Lions, it's like, thanks.
Yeah.
Can I just know everything else?
Yeah,
or like you said, I would love to know all the primetime games.
Just let's go there
because
first.
they're so siloed, you know you're going to be watching them in a window on their own.
Yeah, Sunday night, Monday night football, maybe your Netflix specials, your Black Friday games, your Christmas games, all of those.
International.
Whatever. Yeah, right. Find something like that. But I really feel like they could dominate every day of the week right now if they did that. But either way, I'll take it. Beggars can't be choosers, so I'll take a little trickle effect right now.
This is and it's not the end-all be-all. It's one game. But it's a great opportunity for Harbaugh, and the Cowboys are going to be good this year. They've done a lot of great things.
They have.
For Harbaugh to show that this could be a different Giants era because you mentioned it's the 5th time in the last 14 seasons that the Giants and Cowboys have played on Sunday Night Football in Week 1. Dallas is not only 4-0 in those, they've outscored the Giants 122 to 60.
I was going to say,
they're not competitive.
It's been ass whooping.
So this is a Harbaugh can put his foot down and be like, no, this is a different Giants era of the last.
You're right. You're right about that. And then, I think that's what as Giants fans, we're all hoping that. I think that my Giant friends that I talk to, is we're just excited we're going into a year for the first time in a while. Be like, yeah, there's hope.
Genuine hope.
Yeah, like we might be able to do some things. There's things on paper here to go. They look pretty tangible to where that's going to be a tough thing to deal with there. So I am excited about that. And, yeah, I am excited. The Cowboys last year were fun to watch. It's just their defense didn't always show up. I think that they will. I think these are two of the teams that have kind of, to your point, what you just said, kind of, not going to say they won the offseason, but they're in the conversation for winning the offseason.
Right.
If we made a list of who are the top 5 offseason teams, I think the Cowboys and Giants would probably be on that list there.
I think it's hard to disagree with that. When you look at the coaching moves for the Giants, what Dallas has done throughout free agency and notably the draft.
Yep.
We got some more NFL news, and it's going to be scheduled stuff all week for us, without a doubt. Breece Hall and the Jets finally get that extension done. Pretty easy, 3-year deal. The total's $45.75 million, but the real number for a running back is the $29 million guaranteed. Pretty simple, Chris. They just paid out 2 franchise tags.
That's it.
Year 3, there's no money that they have to pay down. They just said, Breece, we want you here. Here's 2 franchise tags instead of you playing out risking on just one.
Mm-hmm.
And Breece took it as I think this is the right move.
I think
both sides.
so, too. I think it's a no-brainer, right?
They're not paying anyone.
No, that's what I mean. And I'm going, again, the Jets are in the process of building the team. It's Aaron Glenn. You'd think he'd want to play defense and run the ball a little bit. Yeah. Breece Hall, as we talk about a million times during the year, he's a short list of guys that anywhere, anytime, can score anywhere at any time. He's phenomenal in the run game. He's phenomenal in the pass game. I mean, Florio brought it up today where he was like, maybe Frank Reich finally talked some sense into them. And I'm like, maybe he was like, hey, I was in Indianapolis with Jonathan Taylor, and I mean, this guy scores from 80. Jonathan Taylor scored from 80. To me, he's the best player on the offense. Yeah, I know.
No, that's
when you say it out loud, it's weird, right? Because I said it today. Because
well, because they have a lot of
and you go, damn,
good
the other guy,
players.
Yeah, they have a lot of good,
great players.
Right. Garrett Wilson's
difference.
really good.
Yep.
But damn, he's making double than the guy that I think's the best.
This is the positional
right?
problem,
which is the positional problem, and this is where hopefully it can change here because we're in an era too of these 2 or 3 year contracts where I would just want to go, how is the most explosive player on an offense and this guy and all of that? Damn, he's only going to get $15 million a year? That's to me is crazy. But hopefully between him and Jeremiyah Love and some of these other guys, we can kind of chip away at this stupid running back market thing and find ways to get them, more valued on the open market.
It feels like they're finding a middle ground. Where for the Jets, for Breece's age, there's really no risk in this. I mean, you're paying him guaranteed money for 2 years. But for Breece, in a running back era that has not been kind to the position financially, you're taking home almost $30 million the next 2 years.
Totally. And as long as you stay healthy and play pretty good football, there's a really good chance you'll see that third year, right? So that's where it's great. And then, you got potentially a good offensive line.
Finally.
Yeah.
His whole career, besides last year, it's been awful.
So this is the year you look at it and go, damn, I think he could take over right now. Okay, so you look at that. Then you couple that with Frank Reich, who his offense likes to throw the ball down the field. And we know Geno has the arm to do that. And like you said, there's a lot of good to where they're going to be able to stretch the field and do that. So, yes. Now, I see, Pete's put in the sheets here, right? Go ahead. You want to read it?
Yeah, he says this is a mouth-breathing WFAN caller.
First time, long time.
Yeah. Any concern that Breece has just 1,000-yard rushing season?
No, because you have to put it into context, too. First off, what did you just say about the offensive line? Finally.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have that. And they haven't had a quarterback since he's been there.
You can't run the ball when you can't throw the ball.
Who the hell? What do you? Everybody that played the Jets was like, where's Breece Hall? Where's Breece Hall? Where's Breece Hall? Where's Breece Hall?
Loaded
we don't
boxes.
have to worry about anything else. They can't throw. They can't do anything. So, no, I would not worry about that. If he's got holes, he can hit it. There's no doubt about that.
Well, to me, if you're going to be paid as a franchise back, you need to impact the passing game. And that's what Breece does.
He's phenomenal in the screen game and all of that.
Right.
He is.
Across,
next level.
the last 3 years, he's caught over 150 passes.
Yeah.
So that's really the decision when it comes down to paying running backs, and this is not a huge deal.
Yeah, no, I think it's the right move and good for them, and they get it done with. And again, just another guy that can chew some clock, run the offense, and not put too much pressure on Geno when you have a guy like this.
Speaking of running back contracts, Jeremiyah Love signed his rookie deal. It's a 4-year, $53 million contract. Why this is a notable story is he was taken 3rd overall, and there was conversation of can you take a running back here because of what it does to the market. This is the most guaranteed money ever for a running back.
Yep.
$13.25 million average is now the 7th highest already in the league. The only running backs, is if you're watching on YouTube, you could see right here that are paid more than him on an annual basis are Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, the newly paid Breece Hall, Derrick Henry, the newly paid Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor, and then it's Jeremiyah Love, Chris.
Yeah, listen, it's a good thing. He's getting the most guaranteed money ever. But is it really affecting the market yet? No, not really. $13 million. It's the yearly average is the thing that affects the market. So everybody I know is making a big deal about this. Is, oh, he's getting more guaranteed money. I know. Well, that's the way the rules are in the NFL right now. He's the third pick of the draft. If they drafted a kicker or a punter, he would have made $53 million guaranteed. That's the way it is. So, yes, it's good in some ways, but it still doesn't drive up the bottom line, what we're talking about. And like we talked about, most of these running back contracts are going to be 2- and 3-year deals where you're going to maximize them that way. And it's just, as I'm sitting here arguing it, I'm just going, at what point are we going to get, 2 years, $60 million, like we see at some of these other positions it is going on, or 2 years, $50 million. I mean, there is a conversation for that. But Jeremiyah Love, I think, and I will be shocked if he's not in statistically the categories of some of those guys this year. I really will be. I have that high expectations of Jeremiyah Love and his fit for the NFL.
Yeah, and there's a reason why they took him third overall, where they feel like they could build the plane out of Jeremiyah Love, which is the reason you take a running back that high.
100%.
One of the last big names on the free agent market, David Njoku, finally finds a home. The Chargers are just collecting tight ends at this point. Tells you what that offense might look like from a personnel standpoint. David Njoku signs a 1-year deal with the team. He will turn 30 in July. Kind of a down year by his standards, the 293 receiving yards in 12 games last season. But, Chris, we know what kind of talent he is when he's healthy.
That's right. I mean, I love this signing for them. You look at this. I mean, Njoku's pretty good in the run game. I think he's still a force in the pass game. Yeah, he got replaced in Cleveland by a guy that was young and special, and Harold Fannin, where they were like, woo, man, this guy can do something. We can build around him. So they're moving on from him. They're making him, Fannin the main guy here. But Njoku, from when you watch him, he can still run. I mean, he's still in phenomenal shape.
He's like a Greek god.
Yeah, he's a Greek god. So I love that. And, Oronde Gadsden's not known for his blocking. So this gives you, hey, we got Njoku and Gadsden, or Charlie Kohler.
Right.
And you can throw him in Njoku and give it a different kind of combination of that stuff. So, listen, I think the Chargers are one of those teams I look at, again, where we just talked about the Giants being a pain in the ass and go, ooh, they didn't make the playoffs, but they could be in the playoffs. The Chargers, to me, are like one of those teams I look at to go, really good offseason. We got to remember how banged up and unhealthy they were last year. I mean, their offensive line got decimated.
Yeah.
If they stay healthy with a few of these additions, and I think Mike McDaniel is going to be a huge difference for their offense and Justin Herbert, to where I go, hey, you want a short list of teams who I think can maybe make a run in the playoffs? The Chargers would be one of those teams where I could sit there and go, ooh, I think this is the year they could win a game, maybe 2 games this year. We'll see. But certainly have had a good offseason and some things to be positive about.
You're also getting a little bit of a footprint here of maybe schematically some changes on the offense. I mean, their priority signings in free agency on offense, besides some offensive line moves like Biotish, Alec Ingold, the fullback.
Yep.
Charlie Kohler,
Yep.
a great blocking tight end.
Totally.
Now you add Njoku in the furthest wave of free agency. And you said they have Gadsden. They could run 13 personnel. They could run 22 personnel. They don't feel like a team that they go, we need to have Quentin Johnson, Trey Harris, Ladd McConkey, and Brennan Thompson on the field in a spread-out offense.
The tight end thing has become one of the new fads right now. I think it's because of Ben Johnson. I think. And then McVay saw it, and then he was like, wait, I can get one more tight end on the field. You like 12, I like 13, right?
Monken did a lot of it.
Monken did too. You're right. Exactly. So I kind of look at it through that lens. But, yeah, right now, and I think we're seeing an era where every year we see a few tight ends come in the league where we go, damn, he's kind of a freak.
Yep.
Like, he's a freak. Even though he was a third rounder, there's still freakish things about him. I mean, Charlie Kohler's a big dude if you saw him in person, and he runs pretty good. And like you said, he's a phenomenal blocker. So, yeah, I think they're looking at this right now going, wait, offensive coordinators are looking, we can cause some really mismatches with some of these tight ends and their athletic ability coming in the league right now. So you look at that. You look at their O-line. Mike McDaniel, a run game genius. Now, all the run game stuff, all the short passing game stuff that we saw Tua thrive in, but you also will have to worry about Mr. RoboCop throwing 50-yard lasers down the field where you didn't have to worry about that with Tua. So that's where you look at it. And then I got to think that Brennan Thompson pick in the 4th round out of Mississippi State, he's going to get him on the field and be the speed. Hey, speed sweep this way, go that way, fake reverse, blah, 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 to add some speed and illusion to the offense. Yeah, I think the biggest question with the Chargers is their D. Just because you lose Jesse Minter. And you can never, underestimate that.
He's a genius.
Right,
yeah.
just like we saw with Ben Johnson leaving Detroit last year. They were still good, but that offense wasn't genius anymore. And, Minter's a defensive genius. Will they be able to, stay up there in that category on the defensive side of the ball?
And I'll give one shout-out to LaFleur's Packers because they took Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave in the same draft.
Yes,
ironically, Kraft worked out a lot better than Musgrave, who was taken 2 rounds after him.
Right.
But the thought was there of, let's take a pass catcher, and then let's take a bit of a Y brawling tight end. Turns out the Y brawling tight end was better at pass catching than anyone ever thought.
We're seeing these Y brawlers, I think, get in the league a little lately, and we're starting to go, oh wait, he runs better than I thought. He was just asked to block all the time in college. But he's one too, Tucker Kraft, where I thought he might get a new contract this offseason. I mean, they kind of lucked out, I think.
Because he got hurt?
Yeah, because he got hurt. I mean, I think Tucker Kraft, if he doesn't get hurt, is going to be asking for top of the market.
He'll be the highest paid tight end.
He will be. He's got that type of talent. Exactly right. So maybe that injury, made Green Bay be able to kick the can down the road one more year.
This is a free agent year.
Yeah,
so that happened fast.
So I think they're gonna play the old. Let's just let him be healthy. Let's see how he looks for a few games. Okay, he's good. Now let's make him the highest paid tight end in football history. I could see that happening.
It makes sense. All right, we're gonna take our first break. When we're back, we got a couple more news items, including the Vikings quarterback competition. Aaron Rodgers might be in Pittsburgh, but not the part of Pittsburgh you'd expect. And then we'll do our alien teams.
You know exactly where he was in Pittsburgh?
No, I'm curious. So I feel like you might know.
No, I don't.
On DraftKings Sportsbook, new DraftKings customers can bet $5 and get $100 in bonus bets instantly. Download the app and use promo code CORNERBACK when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
All right, let's take a look at the Vikings futures, as we have some Vikings news in just a second. How about their odds in terms of how far they make it to win over 8.5 games is plus money. It's kind of fascinating. The books are a little down on Minnesota. I know the division's hard, but this is a team that, without a quarterback, can win over 8.5 games.
Yeah.
To make the playoffs, plus 165. To win the AFC North, plus 600. To win the NFC, plus 2,500, Chris.
I think it's got to be all about the division there. And I get that. I mean,
right.
The division
is loaded.
It's loaded. It really is. So this is a good football team. I mean, you're not crazy to bet on them to go to the playoffs, even with the quarterback battle that's going on and what we're going to talk about. And either way, I would expect the offense to be better this year with whoever wins this job. And if that guy gets hurt, at least you got a guy there that can come in and do well, which they didn't have last year. As soon as JJ got hurt, you kind of felt like, uh-oh, they're in trouble here. So, yeah. And then I guess when you have two young D tackles that are going to start on that side of the ball, people probably question that. But, I mean, you know my thoughts. It's one of the best offensive minds in the sport, coupled with one of the best defensive minds in the sport. And, yeah, maybe their roster is not quite as talented as some of the other teams in the NFC North, but it's not far off to where those two kind of coaches can close the gap and win games, like we saw at the end of the year, where it kind of felt last year you were like, you know, if you didn't really know, you'd kind of like, they were like 6-11, you know, 5-12. Oh wait, they were 9-8, 9-8, right?
It's the sneakiest 9-win team
exactly.
of all time.
And to me, that's because of the coaching on both sides there.
Yeah, it's a division where every team won at least 9 games. 3 of the teams actually won 9 games. And then you had the Bears. So it's easy to be like me and be like, of course they're going to win over 8.5 games. Then you have to pick typically somebody in the division to not.
Right.
Last year was weird where it didn't happen that way, but you probably do need to pick somebody to slide.
Yeah.
Is Detroit going to bounce back and be what we think they should be? Is Green Bay going to be healthy and be what they should be? Are the Bears going to?
Yeah, it's going to be a sophomore slump.
You know, right? Or do they just get better and better and they win 13 games?
It could go either way. I hear you.
So that's kind of all the variance in this, and of course the biggest variance is the quarterback competition. But before we get to that, the Vikings also in the news. They signed Jauan Jennings. We brought up David Njoku, one of the best free agents left on the market. Jauan Jennings, safely one of the best free agents left on the market. A 1-year deal worth up to $13 million.
Oh, the old up to, which probably means it's like $8 million. I feel bad for Jauan Jennings. I've heard a lot of stories around the NFL. I think he left a lot of money on the table last year, even last year, right? You know, going back to the 49ers there. This guy is better than a up to $13 million a year type of deal for 1 year. I mean, he's phenomenal fit with them. Phenomenal. You know, they kind of get into this mold again where we've had this discussion a few times this offseason. Do you want your receivers to be different, or do you want 3 guys that can all do the same thing and you don't know where you're going to get hit from, right? And I think that's the approach they're taking here. Because really, Justin Jefferson, of course, is the best player, but Jordan Addison's not too dissimilar from him. And then Jauan Jennings right below that. So that's going to be the cool thing. And I think when you add these 3 guys here, right here, you just go, hey, I don't know. I'll put that 3 up there against any 3 in football almost, right? I think as trios go. Well,
I think people underrate Addison
because
he's not available all the time.
Exactly.
And I get it.
Exactly.
I get it.
That you're right. That's what hurts that is the Addison availability. But man, that group right there, healthy in that offense with all the damn 15 and 20 and 25-yard crossers, that could be dangerous right there.
Yeah, and Jennings also maybe brings a little bit of a blocking element to that group, too.
If you play for Shanahan,
right,
you got to block.
He's done it before.
No doubt. He's tough. He's got an edge about him. I mean, he certainly does. And, yeah, I do. I always feel bad for that kind of guy where I go, he outplayed his rookie contract. He should be getting more, but agent or whatever misled him, or maybe he just got a little greedy. I don't know who to blame there. Right. But like I told you, I've been led to believe that he's left some money on the table with wanting too much more.
And that kind of story is exactly why you see guys when they sign with the team before hitting free agency, people's reactions like, damn, he would have got a lot more on the market. Sometimes it's comfortable to just walk away with a profit.
Yes.
You know, not get robbed.
Yeah.
But maybe take 80% of what your max open market number would have been.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Yeah, exactly.
In the NFL, it happens a lot.
And sometimes placing yourself, sometimes it's worth taking the, 10% less money to be in a place that's really positive that'll get you and make up more than that 10% for the next contract.
Right.
And that's where I do think players lose that at times. But it's tough and it's emotional, as you know, and that could be a big part of it too.
So Minnesota with a strong wide receiver trio now. Now, who will be throwing them the ball? The reports are it'll be a true competition between Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy. No hand-holding. No, you get the reps and the chance first. It's just I like this strategy a lot, by the way.
Totally. Most quarterback competitions are not real. More times than not, it's like, yeah, we're competing, but one guy's got to really screw up to lose the job. That's usually how it goes in the NFL. This one has felt real from the start, and the fact that they're saying it and everybody's saying it, you know it's real. J.J. McCarthy certainly has not done enough, and they're a good enough team right now where they're like, well, we can't wait. We're going.
That's the problem.
We're going, right? We're going. So we're going to play the best guy. And Kyler Murray has never been a part of an offense like this, and you're excited to see what he can do because Kyler Murray still has an explosive arm, and he can still move and do all that stuff too. But let's not forget, J.J. McCarthy's got an explosive arm. He does, and he's a better athlete than maybe we give him credit for. So this will be interesting in guy we invested in with a first-round pick, but not totally working out. So we're not like handcuffed to him. We're not tied to him through the history of football here. And, we got a guy that's hungry and wants to prove haters wrong. And he's disappointed with how things ended in Arizona. So that's where it's going to be cool to watch as this all unfolds.
Well, and also people involved in drafting him, not all, but some have been fired already.
Yeah.
Because of him. When you look at Kwesi, who's now with the Niners, actually,
back
as a
with the
personnel
Niners.
Executive, very unique football track
that's
record.
what makes you think about all of this. And obviously, I think the end of Kwesi's time in Minnesota is related to the quarterback stuff, 100%. I don't think there's any doubt about that. That's the jump off. I don't know what other stuff was going on too, but I would say that's the jump off. And what it makes me also question was this just Kwesi's pick altogether? Is that why they're not tied to JJ the same way? Maybe Kevin O'Connell's a little bit like, I liked him, but I wasn't like, I got to have JJ McCarthy. It was the GM. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there, right? I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just talking here, talking ball. So, yes, it just feels a little different that way, and it's rare that you feel like the number 11 pick in the draft doesn't have the inside track automatically.
No, it tells you everything you need to know, and this is going to be one to watch all summer.
Yeah.
Our last bit of news from the last week or weekend, Aaron Rodgers has reportedly been in Pittsburgh for a couple of days, but he hasn't been with the Steelers.
I don't get it.
I just imagine
I don't get any of it
here.
I don't get any of it, and I don't know. And what I've spitballed a bunch of things with Florio. Like I've said to you a million times, I'm exhausted about talking about Aaron Rodgers. Also, don't understand why Pittsburgh put themselves in this position. I don't understand why Aaron Rodgers puts himself in this position. I don't.
What is there to gain?
What do you want to win this year or not? Well, this is not the formula. Not show up with a new coaching staff and just get there at training camp. I can just tell you that ain't how it gets done. So that's what I don't understand. Where's Josh Allen right now? Oh, he's with the Bills. Where's Mahomes? Oh, he's with the Bills.
Lamar Jackson.
Right. Where's Lamar Jackson?
Who has a reputation for not always being there.
And he's in the prime of his career, and you can okay, you're the man right now. I can get that.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers still wants to be talked about like that, but yet he doesn't want to put in the work for it. Everybody wants to go to heaven. No one's willing to die.
Yep.
I mean, okay. So what? I don't understand that. Tom Brady won 6 Super Bowls and was illegally Tampa Bay, send me the playbook. Send me the playbook. He walked into the wrong person's house because he was walking to Byron Leftwich's house. Do you remember this?
No, I don't.
He walked in with a ball bag, and he was the next door neighbor, and they were like, you're Tom Brady's in our house. And he's like, oh, you're not Byron Leftwich, huh? And he had to go next door. I mean, this is Tom Brady. It's the GOAT.
Yeah.
I mean, and then not on top of that, he was like, illegally give me the playbook and let me start. And he was like, and give me another one because I'm going to illegally get my tight end Gronkowski one so we can start that. I mean, that was March, February. Right. Do you want to win the Super Bowl? Do you want to be great? I don't. That's what I don't understand about Aaron Rodgers and what his approach is here right now.
That's the thing that's tricky is it's totally fine to have other interests besides football. But if those interests are so much bigger than football and you're not the man anymore, teams shouldn't put all their eggs in your basket anymore.
Exactly.
It just doesn't
It doesn't matter. They're acting like he's Mahomes in this prime right now.
Is he a top 25 quarterback right now?
It's questionable. It's questionable.
There's the answer, though.
So,
that's the answer.
exactly.
The fact you can't look at me and go, yes. You have to think about it. You have to stack the deck and be like, he might be 24, he might be 27.
Yeah. Well, I'll hit you with this right here because there's been all these rumors with Arizona. And I just went, that to me is stupid if Arizona wants Aaron Rodgers. One, your first-year head coach, he's going to hijack it, run the offense he wants. So then in year 2, Michael Ford's going to be like, oh, wait, now I can finally put my offense in. Last year, guys, that was Aaron Rodgers. He was coaching the team and running the offense. Sorry. This year, this is my team. Oh, it's year 2. We're finally starting a culture here. Why would you want that? Why would you want it? And then here's the point I made today. If I told you, okay, Jacoby Brissett threw 1 less touchdown than Aaron Rodgers last year. He threw 1 more interception than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, let me just make sure, had a 94.8 quarterback rating. Jacoby Brissett had a 94.1. Jacoby Brissett's going to hang in the pocket and try to throw the ball down the field. I would tell you Pittsburgh had a better offensive supporting cast than Jacoby Brissett last year. So my point being is, like, people think, oh, yeah, Arizona. I'm just going, I don't know if I'd want Aaron Rodgers over Jacoby Brissett. I'm sorry. I think Aaron Rodgers is the man. I mean, I met you at Bleacher Report, and I was singing songs about Aaron Rodgers, right?
Literally.
I mean, in his prime, he is the freak of freaks. But that doesn't mean we just keep talking about that now. And that's where, so I just don't get his approach. I don't get the Steelers' approach. And he's not going to Arizona. I'd be shocked if that happens. And I understand why Pittsburgh put this tag on him, because they're looking, what's going on? Where are we doing? I don't want you to pull the okie doke on us, right? Well, is he buying time to see if, like, Daniel Jones re-aggravated his Achilles? Hey, I'm going to go there in the first week of training camp. They might go somewhere and be something. So they had to protect themselves. So it's just amazing. And then amazing on top of that we've yet to see his wife still. I'm still amazed by that, too. He's the most famous guy in America. Nobody has seen him. Nobody has seen him, her, anybody. Nobody's seen them together. How is that possible? How is that possible? I talk to people with the Steelers, and they're like, we don't know. We've never seen her. I'm amazed by everything right now.
He's a total mystery.
Yeah.
A total mystery. And
I guess so.
The one franchise that it is costing right now is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of shocked. A Steelers organization that has a ton of pride, they're one of the most prestigious in the NFL, that even they are willing to kind of tolerate this.
I go back and forth. Like McCarthy, I don't know if I'd want Aaron Rodgers, because, again, he's going to hijack things and do things the way he wants. But at the same time, he's probably like, man, we will be better with Aaron Rodgers as compared to what we got here, right? Totally. And I'd like to have a good first year. So that's where it's all, crazy. And, yes, I don't get it from any way there.
This is not the last time we'll talk about Aaron Rodgers on this pod.
No,
spring, summer, whatever you want to call it. We're taking our last break. When we're back, we got our NFL All-Alien team coming up right after this.
Oh, yeah, my favorite song in all of television right here. Pistons-Cavs, Game 4 tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. Can Cleveland tie the series up, or will Detroit take the 3-1 lead? Who will face Connor's mighty New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals? I don't know.
There it is.
It is crazy with the Pistons being on the ropes in the last series to the 8th seed in Orlando, down 3-1. And again, This is where, I didn't pay attention enough during the regular season to know the nuance.
Orlando had no business. Credit to them.
Yeah.
I did not think that series was going the distance.
That is crazy. And then now here they are kind of just controlling Cleveland for the most part of this series.
Yeah, but it can get interesting fast.
It definitely
the beard can make things interesting real fast. Yeah. How about a little T-shirt merch idea here from the everyone wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die?
Hey, well, Pete told me the youngins back there in the control room were blown away by this. Yes, keep listening to me. I am the old wise one of you 28-year-olds or however old you are. Damn, I'm 40-freaking-5. I'm the old wise one. But this was my senior quote. And
in the yearbook.
In the yearbook. And I got this from Vince Lombardi.
It's a very old football quote.
It is, yeah. So that's where I got it from. Now, I don't know if he invented it, right? But basically, like,
might have.
everybody wants the promised land, but nobody wants to put the work in to get there at times, right? And that's where I got that one from right there.
Maybe it's even deeper than that. I'll have to look back into the history.
One of the youngins now is offended that I called her 28. Sorry. Oh, Mackenzie. Sorry, Mackenzie. You're 23. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, my God, Chris. We are both getting old. It terrifies me every single day. All right, the all-alien team. I had some fun sitting and writing this one down because it's inspired by Wemby, who his nickname is the alien, the extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
He is 7'4", 235 pounds.
Yeah.
He basically is one of the most unique-looking humans in terms of length, size, movement skills when you watch in the court. So we were kind of putting the NFL spin on this. I looked at this and didn't go just like Tom Brady, best player, alien.
I know.
I looked at it as you have to be good.
Yeah.
You can't just test well at the combine and we never hear from you again.
Right.
But you also have to have something unique and different about you to be an alien.
I know.
Like Peyton Manning is not my alien quarterback.
Yeah. But damn, he's an alien.
He is. You could
His
argue
brain, he might have invented the UFO that came here, right?
You
and
can
got it
argue
here.
it.
And he was like, wait, check 42, UFO, go through that cloud.
That's the fun in this.
I know.
Is that you can kind of find a way to tailor it towards any player you want. That's a good player.
I feel like I ended up doing an all-time team.
Okay.
Because there was basically went a few times where I was like, wait, all right, so just first perfect example. I know Cam Newton would fit the alien team.
Sure. 6'6".
But listen, we didn't talk about any conspiracies to start the show. Maybe we'll do that for tomorrow.
Okay.
But with all the UFO files.
Well, Tuesdays get weird.
The UFO file showed us this week that aliens can come in different sizes. In fact, there was ones that were 4 feet and all that.
Right.
So that kind of changed my mind a little bit. Damn, the UFO can't be that big to have Wemby walking around in there. All right.
That's true.
So that's where I started
aliens.
to go. And then I was like, you'll see there's some ones here where I go, I don't know. I know he might not look alien, but there's alien things about him.
Yeah.
So that's where it was fun. I mean, certainly. And yes, I went through this, and as I got done with it, I'm like, I'm picking an all-time team here.
The second part for me that I did, because it just defends you from any blowback right away, I only did players that I grew up watching.
Yeah, cool.
So I'm 34 years old, so I really count since I was born very, very late in 91.
Yeah.
97 is kind of the cutoff if I remember sitting and watching players.
Yes.
Not football, because you could be 3 running around with a football.
Yes.
But so a lot of my players will be mostly even 2000 and up to.
I'm probably more. I stayed with a lot of guys that I've seen in my lifetime too.
It just makes it easier.
Yes, right. I maybe have a few older guys that I know of. But yeah, for the most part, I tried to stay really, just to be fair, I think, to the ones that I've really seen and saw throughout my life, right? That's kind of where I went.
Quarterback for me.
Yeah.
I just went with Mike Vick, man.
Well, I know. I've been a part of that experience. Him and Cam Newton were the first ones that came to my mind, okay, of all that. And again, Michael Vick, I never was on a field ever in my life in some ways where I was like, it's 3rd and 19. I hope we can tackle him, right? Because I just was like, he's going to, here we go. Oh, my gosh. We dropped 8 in the coverage, and we still can't tackle him. He's running. Oh, Derek Brooks just got him. 20-yard gain, 3rd and 19 converted by Michael Vick.
It's insanity.
No, it was insane. It was insane. And I was on a Tampa defense that was fast as hell, and they looked slow running with Michael Vick. So I get that. And Cam Newton comes to my mind. But I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes as my alien. I mean, Mahomes came into the league as a phenom. His arm is crazy. He did stuff as a rookie where his first year playing, I know it was his second year, where I just went, what? I've never seen anybody throw the ball or even try some of these throws, right? I mean, I've made fun of Football Night in America. I'm like, he threw a ball. It was a hook shot like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he just was in the traffic and was like, here you go, and he threw the ball, and it was in the person's right between their numbers. So he's an alien for me in that aspect. And then I'll tell you this is what it finalized it. Having a catch with him. Having a catch with him, he can manipulate the ball unlike any person I've ever seen.
Like a baseball pitcher?
Well, he was throwing the ball all kinds of weird ways. And yet he could spin it and spiral it every time. So he would be messing around. He'd just be like this. And then he'd go like this. And then he'd be wouldn't bend his arm. And he'd just go like that. And I was like, do you throw a spiral every time? Like, so I'm going to go with him. Everything
It's
that's
totally
there.
fair.
And then his voice is like Kermit the Frog, so that makes sense of him
He
being an
definitely
alien.
has some alien elements for sure. What'd you do at running back?
It was so running back, you think Derrick Henry first.
Sure.
Okay. But then I realized that aliens come in short sizes,
That's
as
right.
I saw this weekend. And the best running back I ever saw in my life is Barry Sanders.
I mean, yeah.
So I never saw anybody move like Barry Sanders. And let me just tell you, right after that, the other person I thought about taking here was Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson and Barry Sanders are the two best running backs I've seen in my life. That's no disrespect to Emmitt Smith or Walter Payton. They were amazing. But like Michael Vick, Adrian Peterson was one of the few guys through my career where I went, well, he's on a different level than the rest of us. I was on a Tennessee Titan team that started out 10-0, was the #1 team. He played like we were little kids. He was running over here. He was like, stop, run that way. Then when you see him run up in the hole and run over people, you're like, what alien made you that you can just do that? So I'm going to go with Barry Sanders, though.
This is when I went with a deeper cut just to give a player some more love. I went with Steven Jackson.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Steven Jackson.
Predator.
I mean, seriously.
Right.
So I remember I went to, I believe it was a Jets preseason game. Steven Jackson might have been a rookie or a second year. And I was like, I don't know if I've ever seen a running back. Like, I didn't know running backs could ever look like that.
No, I'm with you.
In person, one of the scariest looking running backs. So at 241 pounds, he almost jumped 38 inches and had a 7.033 cone.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to be that big and literally looked like almost a horse galloping.
Totally.
And could just run through people, but then also make you miss.
Build out of granite. Like, you're right. So I like this because I'm going to end up going more football players and you're going to go more the alien route probably. So this is where we'll be good to each other. Okay. But I'm with you. And I was in a Nike suite early on in my career. Super Bowl. I think it was the Colts Bears down in Miami, and these companies, they have their suites. Hey, come by, we'll give you a pair of sneakers or whatever. And I was a Nike guy, so I went there, and I remember getting there, and I saw just the back of this guy on a couch, and I was like, what middle linebacker here?
That's what he's built like.
I was like, what defensive end was that? And then he stood up and turned around. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's Steven Jackson. I hadn't seen him without his uniform on before. And I was just in amaze, to your point. I mean, and Pete's already saying he likes your team more already.
I have definitely some layups, though. Wide receiver.
Yeah.
There was just two for my era that were just I had to pick. Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson.
Well,
there just wasn't much of an argument against them.
No.
For me.
I'm going to leave Calvin Johnson off of it.
Okay.
No, he was there for me. All right. I went 3 receivers. I made a real team. So I made an 11 personnel team.
Okay, nice.
All right, no fullback. But Randy Moss, no doubt. Randy Moss is just a freak of freaks in all ways. I'm going to put Terrell Owens on there too. I am. Terrell Owens was another, like I just told you with Adrian Peterson and other guys, short list guys where I went, he's a different animal or different species than the rest of us here. So that, and then my third receiver.
I can guess it.
You think so?
Did you go Tyreek Hill?
I did.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I did go Tyreek Hill. Yeah.
When you said you didn't put Calvin Johnson, and then you said little people could be aliens too, I'm like, Tyreek Hill made the list.
Exactly right.
I mean, I get it.
I mean, Tyreek Hill through a period of time there was just like, where's he going to score a touchdown from?
Yep.
Where? He's going to return a kick, punt, catch a screen, bomb, whatever. So, yeah, I mean, for my lifetime, I don't think I've seen too many people like Tyreek Hill on the offensive side of the ball.
There just haven't been many in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
When you look at the miss rate on small wide receivers when you scout, it's alarming.
Yeah.
And then when they fall in the draft and people are like, why'd this guy fall? He's so fast. Because most of the time they don't work out.
No, they don't.
Tyreek Hill, I think, kind of broke scouting brains. Now, the reason he didn't get drafted was beyond football. He had a laundry list of problems.
Right.
But the point being that it's not that he worked out. It's that he was the best receiver in the NFL for a couple of years.
Yeah. And remember there was the whole conversation at one point like, oh, you can't make him a top receiver. He doesn't run enough for good routes.
Ran every route.
It was like, and it's like, who gives a shit if they're not perfect routes? He's
fast.
open, he's catching the ball, and he's scoring touchdowns. Like, remember we were into that? Like, there was an argument at the end of my Bleacher Report thing.
Definitely.
When I was like, no, Tyreek Hill is either the first best.
Like, can you pay him?
And people were like, well, he doesn't run routes like Devontae Adams. I was like, but he scores touchdowns from everywhere. Like, come on.
Sometimes we as a society grade football on a scale that does like
it doesn't make sense.
You forget that being big, fast, and scoring points is the pillars of the sport.
Is the major
That's
thing.
it.
Right.
It doesn't matter how it looks. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just be big, fast, and score points.
No, I remember I was having a conversation, Tyreek Hill, early in his career, and I was talking to a coach with the Patriots, and they were like, and he called me Christopher. Christopher, I mean, like Tyreek Hill? Are you kidding me? He's unreal. I mean, he scores. It's 18 touchdowns. It's wherever he is on the field. We don't. You can't. I don't give a shit how many receptions he's got or whatever. Like that was the value. You said it right. Exactly right.
Tight end. What'd you do?
Gronk.
Yeah. There's no other answer.
No.
There's no other answer.
Gronk is the greatest tight end in the history of football.
I agree.
He's up there as far as the greatest receiving tight end, and he is the greatest blocking tight end that's in this conversation. So yes, Gronk is unreal. I wasn't playing with Gronk, but when I was working on TV, I was on some fields with Gronk. When Gronk walked on the field, that was it was like you could feel the other team going, I didn't realize the Patriots and Gronk were this big. Oh my gosh, we're in trouble today, right? And that's what I think got the Patriots a lot of times is just how big they were.
I think the only other one that can maybe be mentioned in this would be Antonio Gates. Mm-hmm. I was trying to look up because Antonio Gates just worked out for teams because he was a basketball player.
Yeah, power forward.
So it's I think he had some freakish numbers, but I'd have to look up to get the official ones of that. But yeah, definitely somebody that.
Yeah, freak show.
He's an alien.
Guy that recruited me at Texas, Tim Brewster. He was tight ends coach for the San Diego Chargers at the time.
He went to his workout.
I remember him call. I was just randomly talked to him, and he was just, hey, what's going on? He wanted to check in on me, and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, he had a real Southern accent. I found me one. He's like, I got me one.
He knew right away.
He's like, I think I just got me a diamond in the rough, right? He said something like that. And it was Antonio Gates. I'll never forget it.
God, it's insane.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, Gates was an unbelievable story. All right, O-line.
Yeah.
Did you carve out a full
I
group?
did a full line.
Yeah, me too.
You want me to just throw all the names out there? All right, tackles were Jonathan Ogden and Walter Jones.
I went with Ogden and Tyron Smith.
Yeah, and seeing those people in person and all that, early on in my career, it was just like, what? These are not humans. These are literally, like you're saying, Wemby alien people. Where you're not supposed to be that big and have feet that good. Like, that's not fair. Guards, I went Larry Allen, and I went Bruce Matthews.
Okay.
When you can play guard that long at that high of a level, you have something, you got steel for bones or something. And then, of course, the family lineage of the Matthew family and all that, there is something crazy about them. So, yeah, I went with that, and then Dermontti Dawson as my center.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the end of my old line there.
So I went Ogden, who quietly at 6'8" had a 31-inch vert, reportedly a 35 Wonderlic.
Yeah.
Which would make him incredibly brilliant.
You know he's smart.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys
brilliant.
where you're like, oh, wait, he's like really smart, like to where he's really deep thinking about every question I ask him here.
He's one of the most gifted human beings to ever step on a football field.
Yes.
Tyron Smith, which is definitely a deeper pick because there's been better tackles than him, but 36.5-inch arms, 11-inch hands, 1.69 10-yard split. That's like...
He weighed, what, 315?
I think he was 318.
And if you saw him in person, you'd be like, oh, hey, he's pretty good in shape, 280 pounds. And you're like, no. Well, watch him take his shirt off. He's chiseled, like, in shape 318, not sloppy at all. So, yeah, I hear you there. He's got some alien-ish about
One of the rare O-line that, like, when you wear the hoodie, the chest is out, and then the hoodie drops.
The belly
no
wasn't there. Exactly. That's
like,
rare.
What planet are you from?
That's rare. Yep.
Guard, Larry Allen.
Yep, I'm with you.
700-pound bench press.
Come on.
Rumor, I couldn't find video of it, but there's a rumor that he benched 315, not 225. So 3 plates on each side, 44 times.
Jason Garrett would know. Jason Garrett waxes poetically about him all the time and says he did some of the damnedest stuff you'd ever see as an athlete, right? I mean, there's a play of him. Who did he run down and tackle on the sideline?
On the interception.
On the interception. I can't remember who
it's
he got.
one of the craziest
but it's crazy.
O-line moments ever.
It really is.
Alan Faneca, because he might be the best puller of all time, like footwork-wise.
He was up there with me for sure.
Center, I went with Jason Kelsey, and the reason being his 4-1-4 shuttle is one of the greatest shuttles of all time for an offensive lineman.
No, those centers got to be quick to get out of the
center and guard, one of the most correlation combine stats is elite shuttle timers have one of the highest hit rates of actually being good NFL players.
Right.
I think the only guy in this draft that had a really high-end shuttle was Logan Jones, the center.
Yeah.
That didn't Ben Johnson draft?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. So,
you got to be a phenomenal, like we talk about all the time, you got to be a really twitchy, explosive athlete to play center in the NFL.
All right, this is where it gets a little more fun even.
Yeah.
Defensive end?
Right. Well, all right, I'm going LT. Okay, not just because my dog and because but listen, here's Lawrence Taylor. You want to know why I think he's an alien? Who could stay out that late and put all those substances in their body and still play like that? Yep. He got to be an alien. I mean, he was coming from all kinds of crazy places and going, I'm going to get 3 sacks today. It doesn't matter.
Imagine if he slept.
Exactly. I don't know. Would he be as good? My dad actually jokes about that all the time. I'm not sure if he'd be good if he drank milk and worked out. I'm not sure, right? It was his edge. But, yeah. And then the other one's going to be Reggie White is my other defensive end. Reggie White was a 300-pound defensive end. I don't know if people really realize that with Reggie White, because he started off a little bit playing D tackle early in his career. But by the end of his career, he was, and really about 3 years into his career, he was a D end all the time. And Reggie White is one of the biggest defensive ends in the history of football. And yet he was also still one of the best pass rushers in the history of football. I know my dad will always tell you Lawrence Taylor is the best player he ever played with or he's ever seen. I know Reggie White would be right there behind it. Right.
12 seasons of double-digit sacks.
It's the minister of defense.
That's
right.
Unbelievable.
And if you saw Reggie White in person, you'd go, he might be an alien. So that would fit there.
Yeah, totally insane career. I went with, sticking with guys from my era, Von Miller.
Yeah.
Of course, maybe more of a stand-up guy, but when people always go, like, can this guy be the next Von Miller? Just Google what Von Miller's workout was.
Yeah.
I mean, 6'7" 3-cone, 406 shuttle, 4'4", 240. He was 246 pounds.
Yeah, incredible.
There haven't been a lot of humans in the history of the NFL that have been almost 250 that move like Von Miller.
No.
There might not actually be. There might be one hand. You can count them on.
I would.
That's
say,
how unique Von Miller was.
Yes.
And then the second one, Julius Peppers. But here's a sneaky one for you, Chris.
Yeah,
They might surprise you.
Julius made my short list too because Julius, I walked on the field the first time I saw him, and I think I was like, "Are you freaking real? I don't even know what you are."
This guy doesn't have the numbers, and there's a fair reason why of all these other guys.
Mm-hmm.
But Cam Wake,
ooh,
I don't know how Cam Wake didn't get drafted. Cam Wake played at Penn State.
Yep.
He was mildly productive, nothing crazy.
Right.
He had a 45.5-inch vertical. 45 and a half.
I did not realize that it was that.
Didn't end up in the NFL.
No.
Played in the CFL for 3 years.
Yeah.
Ran through the CFL. He was like Lawrence Taylor of the CFL.
Right.
And then he had, interest in the NFL. He goes to the Dolphins. He didn't sign I think he signed for like $5 million across like 4 years.
Yeah.
And he was amazing.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the NFL till he was 27 years old.
I don't know if I realized he was that athletic freak like that.
Yeah, I didn't know
knew
till
the
I was
player
looking
he
up
was with the
today.
Dolphins, so that's insane. So I did not know that. Julius Peppers, I will say though, he was, because of personal experience, seeing Simeon Rice, I actually put him on my short list of guys too, because Simeon Rice is another one where if you see them, you just go, I've never seen too many humans like that ever in my life. Never.
I know you've seen a lot of high-end defensive tackles in your football
Okay,
life.
so we went through a group text, right? And we were talking about this idea, and Pete was like, I don't know about Aaron Donald. He might just be a product of work ethic. I don't know. When you play a Super Bowl at 257 and you're a defensive tackle and you're the best player on the field, you're an alien for me. That means you have incredible strength and twitch and muscle fiber and muscle striations that just the rest of the humans don't have. So that's where I'll go with that. I mean, Aaron Donald's the best defensive tackle I've seen in my life.
I didn't have to think about it when I wrote him down.
He's a freak of nature. Total freak of nature. And my next one, because I thought about Calais Campbell, right? I thought about, there was another big D tackle I had written down on my other list. But either way, I went with Warren Sapp.
Me too.
A little
Same
bit
guys.
like through the Lawrence Taylor mold. Like where it's like, hey, he's an alien just for the fact that he could do what he did in his personal life and just come up and dominate. Right. He was that way. Plus, he had a belly. He had to work on being a little heavier. But, I mean, the athlete of Warren Sapp, people don't get it. I mean, yeah, at 300 pounds, he could stand under the basket, and he's only like 6'1", and would just jump up and dunk. He could throw the football like a quarterback could. He could catch the ball like a wide receiver could. Warren Sapp, I'm going to go with him there.
Yeah, 4.69 40 for Warren Sapp.
Yeah.
Which for a defensive tackle.
See, he's a phenom again. See, they're phenoms. And, when you're a phenom sometimes, that's where it's, different than Brady and stuff. Brady got grown into something. That's where I put guys like Elway and some Mahomes and stuff. When it's like they come in the league and we're like, we're doing everything around you. We've never seen anything like you. Brady was awesome, don't get me wrong, but they weren't like, oh my gosh, he's amazing. They were like, let's play team football.
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting better. Let's go a little more on him. Ooh, okay, now, damn, he's in real good. Hey, the hell with the run game. Now let's put him in shotgun. It's year 5. He can dominate the game that way. I put that phenom thing in a little bit different category when you talk about that conversation.
I totally agree. Yeah. Guys that just step on any field in any sport,
yeah,
you know they're like, different right away.
Right. Football's the only sport where I feel like we talk about our best players in our history of our sport that are not that. Right. I think it's the only sport. In baseball, who are the best players of all time?
I mean,
Aaron Judge, Mickey Mantles, Barry Bonds, Willie Mays. Right. All freaks of nature for their sport.
Yeah.
Right. Basketball. Who is it? Oh, it's Michael Jordan. It's LeBron James. It's Magic Johnson.
Right. People forget how big Magic is.
Exactly. 6'9". It's like
Larry Bird, same way.
Exactly. Phenoms. Just as soon as they took the court.
Yep.
I mean, Michael Jordan's in the Olympics. He hasn't even played in the NFL. I mean, the NBA. And Bobby Knight's like, he's the greatest player I've ever seen in my life. And he's like, he hasn't played in the NBA.
Right.
Well, he's playing on an Olympic team with college kids, and the NBA All-Star team can't beat him. He won 8 games against NBA All-Stars before he got in the NBA. So, yeah, that to me is like what we're talking about, aliens and phenom.
All right, Dr. J comes to mind.
Right.
Like seeing somebody jump from the free throw line.
Right,
And be like,
they're like, whoa, I didn't know
that.
can do that.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Right.
Linebacker, I think, is a wide open combo.
We've
had a lot of unique athletes at linebacker over the years.
We have. Okay, so one, and when Urlacher is going to be one for me.
He made it for me, too.
Yeah, because, again, he's not only awesome, but when you saw Brian Urlacher and they were playing Tampa 2 and I was playing quarterback, I was like, damn, I'm never going to be able to throw the ball down the middle of the field today. I mean, as fast and as long and big as he is, I was just like, shit, it's over. Forget it. I'll throw the check down. We'll never get the ball by him. So that, and then Ray Lewis is going to be my other one.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray Lewis not only was a physical alien, he was a mental alien too. Him and Zach Thomas on the field together, I mean, not together, but when I played against them, I've always said Zach Thomas, Ray Lewis called out more plays in a game than I ever saw anybody call ever. And Ray, the energy and everything he brought is second to none. So, yeah, I'm going with those two there.
I mean, you look at the pictures of Ray when he was playing in Miami. He has a six-pack on the field.
I know.
It's
got
like,
the
jersey
tucked up.
Yeah, the crop jersey.
I know.
It's like, what universe is this guy
Exactly
from?
Right.
Completely. I went with, besides Urlacher, Patrick Willis.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
In the time frame he played in the NFL, what Willis did is out of this world.
Yes.
And then Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
Similar mold.
Uh-huh.
Not the longest career.
No.
But you look at Willis and Kuechly, they had some freakish athletic ability that it's like, oh, that's why they were that productive.
Well, that's right. And that's why it's great. I think we've gotten out of this mold of in the Hall of Fame of like you don't have to have a long career. Like those two guys, we have guys in the Hall of Fame where I'd go, yeah, they had a 15-year career, but they were never one of the 2 or 3 best players at their position at any year of those years.
Right.
Never. And then there you got 2 guys who go, okay, yeah, the career's short, but for 5 years they were the best at their position. Like it was like, oh, him or him. And so yeah, that I hear you there. They were phenomenal.
All right, corner.
Well, Deion.
Okay.
I mean, it's got to be Deion. I've never seen a corner on the field that looks like Deion Sanders. Never. So I'm going to go with him.
Well, and he was also a legitimate baseball player.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what's crazy.
Yes. Deion, the only person that has challenged Deion for my eye watching the sport is Tyreek Hill as far as the fastest people I've seen on a football field in their prime. When I saw Deion in his prime, the first time I saw him take off, I just went, whoa, nobody is running like this. I was in the stands, of course, but I was like, I've never seen anybody take off down the field like that. Deion, I'm going to bring back one name from the past, Mike Haynes. You don't know Mike Haynes.
No, I don't know Mike Haynes.
Mike Haynes was one of the corners on the Raiders when they won the 2 Super Bowls in the 80s. They traded for him. He was a first-round pick, New England Patriots. I always heard my dad talk about him when I was young. Mike Haynes, Darryl Green, those were like his, like, oh my gosh. And Mike Haynes was the first or one of the first guys, island, 6'2", 195. Bump and run in your face. So him and Lester Hayes with the Raiders, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then they could do whatever they want with the rest of the defense. But he, freak of nature. And then I add a nickelback and Champ Bailey.
Oh, man, that's a good nickelback to have.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to have Deion, and justifiably so. Gotta give love to Revis because what Rex asked of Revis in the 2 AFC championship games, I have never seen a team ask a corner to do what he did.
No, I hear you there.
Like there was a reason the Island nickname was real.
100.
You're running around with Reggie Wayne and Ocho Cinco, and it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. One alien reason, Charles Woodson's longevity. At 39 years old, he had 5 interceptions.
Totally.
It's I mean,
he'd be a great nickel. Like he'd be the nickel everybody would want right now.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
Tackles, covers.
Yeah.
Smart.
18-year career and really good throughout all of it.
C-Dub was on my list, man. I hear
unique longevity.
Totally. Yeah, freak of nature. Total freak of nature. And if he didn't have, he's another guy that, like Dion, kind of had foot problems that he had to deal with for a significant period of his career at one point.
Free safety?
I think might have been the hardest position.
Really? I didn't think twice about it.
You
Ed
did.
Reed.
All right, so let me throw some names out here because I played an era with Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu. Right. And Brian Dawkins.
See, I Dawkins for sure.
Yeah.
Would Polamalu technically be a free or a strong? I don't know. I guess he did both.
He did both.
Yeah.
I would tell you for a quarterback, preparing for Troy Polamalu was the most annoying secondary player I ever prepared for. I actually one year got to beat Troy Polamalu during scout team on the defensive side of the ball. We were the Tennessee Titans, and Kerry Collins knew I had watched enough film and watched how Polamalu operates to where he was like, put Chris at safety. Let him be Polamalu. He'll do the stuff. So I'd be up there like the A-gap, like I'm blitzing, and then run back and play, cover 2 or whatever. All right, so, and then the other one, all right, so I'm going to go different ones here. I'm going to go old school on you, just to change it up. Ronnie Lott, because he had an alien steel head, okay? And here's mine. This is a personal favorite man crush that I don't think it's enough credit, and I think he's a Hall of Fame safety, is Cam Chancellor.
He was my strong safety.
I like it.
Yeah. Alien.
They couldn't, the Legion of Boom would not have been the Legion of Boom with 2 of the most unsung heroes on that team, and Cam Chancellor and Michael Bennett, as you always hear me say.
Right.
And it's such a shame because if you talk to people in the NFL, they'd go, those are the names that would get started. Right, but when you talk to just a fan or a public, there's going to be Richard Sherman and Bobby Wagner, of course, and Earl Thomas. And they're awesome. Don't get me wrong, but I just know in that era, and even when I was coaching for the Patriots, like I remember just everybody being like, "Man, this Cam Chancellor, wait, he runs like a secondary player, but he hits like a big time middle linebacker. That's why they could play Seattle 3." So those would be my 2 guys there.
Yeah, I mean Cam was built like a linebacker. He had colossal biceps, shoulders. He's 6'4". He's 225. He was a 5th-round pick. Him jumping over the line on special teams, like just a total alien. Getting back to your Polamalu point, because I didn't even remember this. The fact he ran a 4.33 and jumped almost 44 inches in the vert.
He was a freak.
Like elite athlete.
I know.
Elite athlete.
I know.
Bench 25 reps at 225 at just 206.
Listen, I feel bad that I put Ronnie Lott and Cam Chancellor. Let me just say, Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Brian Dawkins. Gosh damn, you're aliens too, though. Let me just say that, okay?
I had one honorable mention, and it was so short-lived.
Yeah.
Bob Sanders.
Oh.
There weren't a lot of moments in my life I turned on an NFL game and I saw a safety actually look like a ballistic missile.
Yeah, he was of that.
I was like, it's like they actually shot him out of a fighter jet.
He was, but
unfortunately his body was
done.
A
3-year, 4-year career, right? Yeah. Exactly right.
Cam Chancellor done at 29.
I know.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, he neck problem. When your life is hitting people, that's what can happen there. I see some quotes here from some guys, and they did bring up some ones that I do think we need to bring up, just regardless.
Yeah.
Your Michael Vick is on there.
Yep.
Right. Joanna Bananas. Bo Jackson. I did think about Bo Jackson.
Right.
And maybe I should have put Bo Jackson on there. He's an alien for sure. No doubt about that. The Freak. Javon Curse, I see, hey, K. Gemma, 89. I played with the Freak. He was, again, there in the thoughts with me when I talked about Simeon Rice and some of the players I talked with. But, damn, defense ends are freaky, as you know. Sean Taylor is definitely another one.
Great call. Dr. Ganja all over that one. Yeah. Sean Taylor, man, that was another one where you watched him on the field and you're like, I haven't seen a lot of safeties look like this.
So next time, Pete, if you want to do this, you got to go all looks alien team. When you start to get into it, then I start thinking about football too much, and it doesn't work that way, right? You did put all-time team in parentheses, too.
That threw me for a loop. I was like, I'm doing it my way.
I know. All right.
I don't care about the all-time team.
We'll blame it on Pete. If you like my list, it's because of me. If you don't, blame it on Pete. All right, everybody? You know where to find us. That's it for our show today. Connor, you the man, as always. Thanks so much. Tuesday, pod, we're back. It's not live. Wednesday, Thursday, live, 10 a.m. YouTube, NBC Sports page. You know where to find us. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Have a good Monday. Check out the NBA playoffs on NBC tonight. Peace out. We'll check you out tomorrow.